Welcome or welcome back to Titleholder Talks with Emily. I'm so thrilled to have you all with me on this episode today because today's guest is a super special guest and one of my closest and best friends. Titleholder Talks with Emily is a podcast all about showcasing the stories and experiences of title holders across all different pageant systems. See you when our guest joins. Hi everyone! So we have a very special guest joining us today. So Hanley, if you want to introduce yourself, go right ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Hanley House. I'm Miss America's Teen 2024. I actually competed with Emily at the Miss America's Teen competition. She was Miss Connecticut's teen, so it's such a full circle moment seeing her online and being able to do this amazing podcast with her.
Yes, I know I probably mentioned it 100,000 times, but Hanley and I competed together at Miss America's Teen, and it was just such a great experience. I got to go down to her homecoming celebration in North Carolina in May, and hopefully I'll be able to see her again in January at the Miss America and Miss America's Teen 2025 competition. But I am so thrilled to get to interview and talk to you today. It's been on my bucket list for a while now since I started this
Aw.
podcast. So let's jump right into these questions that I have
Yes.
for you today. First and foremost, how did you get your start in pageantry and then in the Miss America opportunity specifically?
Okay, so this is actually a very interesting question for me. So, in the Miss America opportunity or in pageants in general, I actually went all the way my first year. I actually competed for my high school pageant. I wanted a way to represent my school. I'm a dancer, and at my high school, there's the general sports like football, baseball, softball, cheerleading, things like that. But I wanted a way that I could represent my school in another way. So, I went out for my high school title and I actually lost. So I call it my little Michael Jordan story. My assistant principal saw me and she was like, I see something in her. And she was like, you know what? Come. She was a local director at the time for a prelim for Miss North Carolina's teen. And she was like, come to my prelim and I promise you, you will win a title. And so I came, I went through the whole process. I actually did win a title. I was Miss Cleveland's teen, and then I went to Miss North Carolina's teen. I worked super hard because, again, I'm super new to all of this. I was really in the dark. I had no idea what was going on. But from my perspective, I was learning all of these interview skills. I was meeting all of these friends, and I grew up on the stage. So I was spending more time in my safe place, which was on the stage. I know that sounds weird, but I love just being on the stage, talking, modeling, dancing. It's just part of who I am because I've grown up dancing pre-professionally on a stage. So I won Miss North Carolina's teen, and then again, I worked and grinded my heart out until I became Miss America's teen. And right now, I am traveling nationally, visiting all of the 50 states and just kind of spreading my community service initiative, Passion to Profit, empowering and advocating for young entrepreneurs.
That is so exciting. Every time I hear your story, especially when we were at your homecoming in May, getting to see all of the hard work that you put in and especially meet your board of directors from the state level of who got to prep you and really help you to prepare for this national title. It was so awesome. And just your success story in general, your third pageant, you won the national title, and that's so amazing. But it also is attesting to, your hard work and your grit. And like you said, you learned a lot of that, through your high school and through your community, but also like through being a competitive dancer and a pre-professional dancer. I can also attest to that because I was also a competitive and pre-professional dancer for majority of my life. So it teaches you some very good real world skills. And speaking of real world skills, you mentioned your community service initiative, Passion to Profit, a little bit in the last answer. So, talk to us a little bit about your community service initiative. What is it? How did you start it? And then what have you been able to do with it as Miss Cleveland's teen, as Miss North Carolina's teen, excuse me, and now as Miss America's teen?
Absolutely. My community service is called Passion to Profit, like I said. It kind of starts out. So when I was 10 years old, like I said, was auditioning and being accepted into so many pre-professional ballet schools. And as we know, anybody who does a sport or an extracurricular activity, things can get expensive. And I wanted a way to help pay for it because generally, if I wanted to accomplish my dreams, I would have to help out. I would have to help out monetary. And so I created a small business. For Christmas, I got a uh, silhouette, like a cameo, vinyl cutting machine. It was the only thing I had on my Christmas list that year, and I started making monograms, labels, T-shirts, wedding gifts, birthday party gifts, like matching little girl like sleepover PJs, title holder PJs, and I just started posting, advertising, and that's what led to me being a small business owner. And then when it became time for me to create a community service initiative, I was like, I have been advocating for young entrepreneurship for all of this time since I was 10 years old. And so I was able to just grow that through the Miss America opportunity. And that has just been such a fruitful part of it. Being able to partner with Skills USA, a nationwide club that advocates for the same thing that Passion to Profit does, is even more amazing. I'm just so thankful for partnerships and sponsorships that are making it possible for me to advocate on a national level.
For sure. And I know personally, I was looking at all the girls' social medias and community service initiatives before and even after Miss America's Teen and seeing your 5 steps to passion to profit. It's so awesome how, at such a young age, you're able to build this kind of business strategy and promote it to other young people who may not know these skills or things like that. It's so wonderful. And I know definitely going forward after Miss America's Teen, I was definitely using your social media to kind of brand myself before I get my
Absolutely, yes.
title. So it's wonderful to see how you are still so young, are able to kind of use those real world and business and marketing skills to not only brand yourself as Miss America's Teen, but help others to maybe use a template to brand themselves as well. It's great what the Miss America opportunity can provide to you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so thankful for the opportunity and just the little things that came with it, the little and the big things, the obstacles and the rewards. They're all just so fulfilling. And honestly, this is not what I had planned for myself. Like I said, I wanted to represent my high school, but I got so much more out of it. And so I really just thank God and his plan for me, as well as just everybody who supported me along the way.
For sure, like I mentioned before, your support system, I got to meet most of them at your homecoming. They're wonderful. They're great people. Your board, your parents, your siblings, cousins, they're wonderful people. And, I can see why you are so happy and, so motivated because you just have great people behind you supporting you at all times. So
Absolutely.
I can't
It
wait to
definitely it makes the grind and the passion and the community service, it makes it all 10 times more um fulfilling, like I said, it's such an amazing experience.
110% agree. And I can't wait to see when they show up and show out this January, this upcoming January. It's going to be
Yes.
great.
Yes, we are all very excited and can't wait for the next chapter of life.
110%. And your sister queens that have all given up their titles are going to welcome you into the Forever Club with open arms. It's going to be so exciting. I know a lot of us are hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be there. So
Yes, absolutely. I cannot wait to see you guys. That kind of just leads me into talking about the Miss America like sisterhood. I mean, that was just such um an a very, very great experience. I mean, I'm speechless when it comes to it. I loved being able to meet all of the beautiful and well-spoken and passionate and talented girls, and I'm just so thankful that I have the opportunity to represent our class, and I hope I'm just making everybody proud.
You definitely are. I know we talk about it all the time in our little group chat that we still keep active, which is so fun. But
Yeah.
since you mentioned sisterhood, what is your favorite point of the Miss America crown or a pillar of the Miss America opportunity? And then why is that your favorite?
Ooh, I that is a probably the hardest question. When I get asked that question a lot. I've gotten that question asked for just about 2 years now, competing in in the Miss America opportunity. But you know, I that's hard, but I would definitely have to say the service. Like, I have always have had a servant heart and wanted, to represent, North Carolina as a servant leader, wanted to represent America as a servant leader, and so being able to represent my community service initiative on a personal level and share how I was able to become a small business owner, a young entrepreneur, how I was able to learn advertisement and demographics and business management, and even little things like time management and financial management, things that we aren't taught in school. That was so amazing to be able to go into schools and teach that, because students get into college and don't know how to manage their bank account and don't know how to, do advertisement for a business, or don't know what little things like analytics and demographics and things like that are. And so it's just amazing being able to go into schools all across the nation and be able to share about passion to profit, and even online and in person. It's just both ways are amazing. I can't wait to keep doing that, because I know that after, I give up my crown, I still plan to keep sharing that same love for entrepreneurship and, small business love.
Listen, like you said, it's a hard question to answer. You have these
Yes. I mean,
five.
I literally I that took me a while. That took me a while. If you have to cut out some of my thinking time.
No worries. There's 5 great answers that you could pick from, and, you talked about service a whole bunch, you got to talk about sisterhood, but the Miss America is so opportunity, excuse me, is so unique in that way because we have 5 pillars of the brand that we are able to represent as local, state, and national title holders, while also just really loving to our core every single thing about the organization and the opportunity that we're given throughout the organization. It's such a wonderful and unique place to be. And,
Absolutely.
like Robin says, it's a new day at Miss America, especially since we added sisterhood as an official point and pillar to the crown and the organization as a whole. So it's just so special, but I definitely agree. It's a hard question to answer, so no
Yes,
worries there.
for sure.
So, to keep going with the favorites, what is your favorite phase of competition, and then why is that your favorite phase?
Who, that's a hard question too. I'm a very indecisive person, so as you can tell, but I would have to say dancing, the talent portion of competition. I grew up going to the studio about 17 hours a week from a little girl to, I mean, still to this day. And when I dance, it's like all of the anxiety, all of the stress, all of the weight on the shoulders is taken off. And so, yes, I do get burnt out like any other dancer. Yes, I do get tired. Yes, I do get unmotivated at times, but I would not change it for the world. And I'm just so thankful that the Miss America opportunity has a talent, as a portion, because I know some organizations don't. And so that's just something that I love so much, because I'm able to showcase what I really have worked so hard on the past lifetime of mine.
I totally get it, like I mentioned before, as a competitive dancer of 15 years before I graduated, and then also getting to have that one last opportunity to dance at Miss America's Teen and to compete on a stage at Miss America's Teen, it was once in a lifetime, and it was an incredible experience, as I'm sure you can also attest to. Just being able to fulfill a dream of dancing and competing in front of thousands of people, it's something that literally only dreams are made of, and to have, not only you and I, but so many other young girls being able to fulfill that dream as well, when they might be wanting to fulfill another career dream in the future, it's so fulfilling, it's so rewarding, and I agree talent is also my favorite phase of competition. It's just an incredible, like I said before, and unique opportunity that you're given for competing for Miss America or Miss America's Teen.
Absolutely. And like I said, I haven't done pageants my whole life. I've actually been a dancer my whole life. And so that was actually my favorite part is being able to showcase like what competitive dance is really. And I know that there were a bunch of girls that were competitive dancers as well, and they were so, so good. And so that just goes to show, like, I mean, Miss America has the best of the best, and there's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Since you mentioned dance, what are you planning to do with your scholarship dollars that you have earned? All of them, every single one. What are you planning to do with those scholarship dollars that you have earned while competing in the Miss America opportunity?
So thankfully, competing in the Miss America opportunity for 1 year, I was able to earn over $75,000 in scholarships, plus a full ride to a few different colleges. And that is something that I would not change at all. That is something that I will hold on to forever and will have a lasting impact on mine and my family's lives. I hope to use those scholarship dollars to go to my dream college, which is the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, as well as I would like to attend the dance team there, and practice, sideline dancing, dance team dancing. I'm normally, like I said, a competitive dancer, and so we don't do a lot of that. So I'm excited to just try something new, as well as study business management there, so that hopefully after that I can move to Dallas and be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. And then, after Dallas, of course, I would like to open up my own business in interior design and architecture at home, obviously. I would love to come back to North Carolina. North Carolina is it's home for me and it will always be home.
Absolutely. And I've shocked you a whole bunch of times. I've heard this a whole bunch of times, but it's so great to hear somebody so young and at your age, especially as a senior, really have that mapped out plan of, okay, I want to go to school here. I want to do these activities while I'm here. I want to major in this. And then after that, this is my plan for the future. It's so like refreshing to see somebody have that sort of plan at such a young age. And I know people always would be like, "Oh, you really want to know where you want to go to college and what you want to do for your future job?" Like when I was in my freshman year of high school, it's like, "Yeah, this is my future. Like I gotta have it." I'm also the kind of person that has to have everything mapped out and like
Me
written
too.
down. So
Me too. I mean, y'all should see my planner right now. It's like color coded, like time by time, step by step, day by day. But like speaking of all of that, it's just like something that I have learned is, the Miss America opportunity changed my life, and that was not the plan that I had. It was God's plan for me, and it ended up being so much better than the plan that I had for myself. And so that's something that I am going to hold on to. If Carolina ends up not being my school, that's God's plan. And if Dallas ends up not being my dream, that's God's plan for me. And so that's something that I have learned and will hold on to for the rest of my life, because I feel like that's the key to life. Yeah.
totally agree with you, and I know one of my favorite parts about, Miss America and Miss America's Teen Week was that so many of us agreed in that, and that was kind of like instilled in us that, whatever happens this week, that's God's plan, and then we move forward because that's what God intended us to do. And I loved that so many of us shared that. and share that connection through our faith. It was so, so special. But speaking of favorite moments during Miss America and Miss America's Teen Week, I know that was almost a year ago, which is crazy,
Literally, it's crazy. It's
crazy,
so sad.
crazy. But what was your favorite moment, memory, event, or anything like that that you were able to have or make at Miss America's Teen last year?
Oh, okay, so there were a bunch of favorite moments from spending time with the girls to going to Universal to doing all of like the social media content. Like I just loved all of that. But I would have to say, being able to like after I was crowned, being able to just hug my family and the people that worked just as hard as I did for this to happen for me, who, packed up my stuff, supported me financially, drove me there. Like just being able to hug my mom and dad and little sister, and of course my board as well. But, just being able to see my family. And of course, my little sister was crying, but y'all don't be fooled. Like literally 5 minutes after that, she was fighting over who was going to take a shower first in the hotel shower. And she was like, I'm taking a shower first. So, anyways, um, but just little things like that, like being able to see my family, being able to see my Miss North Carolina Taylor Lloyd, and just seeing how proud they were of me is something that I will always have like a vivid image of in my mind.
I agree, getting to see your support system after all the hard work has paid off, it's so rewarding and it's so great. You got to see them right after on stage, most of them, but even at your coronation ceremony, like that
Absolutely.
was your time. And, you got to see all of your friends that came down to see you. I'm pretty sure your assistant principal came too, right? Or was watching
Um,
you on live or something like that.
my
Like,
assistant principal as well as my principal.
Like you got to see those people that literally started you in this program and watched you go all the way in the span of 6 or so months to a year. Like that's so, so special. And like I have a little sister too, so I get it. We had our fair
Mhm.
share of who's showering first night in the hotel room, but it's so rewarding to get to see those family members and those community supporters that really helped you get to where you were. It's so wonderful. But that does bring us to the last or some of the last questions that I had for you today. Just I would love for you to do like a quick little rundown of what you've been able to accomplish with your title since you're giving up your crown in like 100 or so days. I would love for you to kind of just like run through some of your favorite appearances or things that you've gotten to accomplish with your title.
That is super hard because I've visited a ton of states now, and I feel like my favorite appearance hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. Um, I actually cannot share what we'll be doing, but we have a bunch in store for the last just few moments of being Miss America's Teen, and so we're gonna go out with a bang. But I would definitely have to say let's do like a top three. Top three would be Kentucky Derby, absolutely being able to spend the week with Heather French Henry, Miss America 2000, as well as just being able to do cool things there, like put the roses on the horses, being able to be on the ground for that. Travis Kelsey waved to me. I will always remember those things, as well as Dancing with the New York Knicks. Like I said, um I do want to move to Dallas, but I love New York so much, and I love the New York Knicks, and so I was able to dance with the New York Knicks city dancers, and at one of their playoff games actually, and so that was really fun. Was be able to see Miss New York 2023 there, Amelia Collins, and then lastly. Who? I would have to say my recent appearance with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders because that is a huge dream of mine and a goal. Being able to, meet all of like the America's sweethearts was so fun. But really, just anything that I get to do with Maddie, Miss America, is one of my favorite appearances because we are literally like peanut butter and jelly. We are just like best friends, and which is just such an amazing add-on to the organization itself. Is I get another best friend, and I'm like her little mini me, and so it's so fun to be able to live in her shoes sometimes, and her live in mine, and just kind of be able to see what it's how different it is being on the job.
Absolutely, and I love getting to see all of your guys' little mini adventures whenever you have appearances together. Like, I loved seeing you guys walk around in Times Square the
Yay.
past week and all the things that you got to do at the Kentucky Derby together. Excuse me. It's just so wonderful getting to see all of the wonderful things that, not only Maddie gets to do, but that you get to do thanks to the opportunities that you were given throughout the Miss America opportunity. That does bring us to the last question of this little chat that we've been able to have. Speaking of opportunities, what advice would you give to any girls who may be preparing to compete in their state, local, or national competitions that are coming up soon?
I would say I would probably give a very different piece of advice, which is just have fun. A lot of times in life, we get so caught up with the little things like what dress I'm going to wear. Oh, I need these heels. Oh, I need these earrings. Oh, I need her to do my makeup. I need her to do my hair. What time I'm going to have time to do this and this and this. And it's just, have fun. This is something that you want to remember as a good experience. And that's exactly when I look back at Miss America's Teen, that was the best week of my life. That was literally the best week of my life. And it would have still been the best week of my life if I didn't come home with the crown. It would have still been just as fulfilling because I was able to meet so many friends, enjoy so many different opportunities, as well as just live in the moment. And so that's something that I would definitely give advice to girls all around the nation, and something that I hope to keep advocating for during my reign.
I love that advice, and what a way to end off this interview, this chat, with a bang. I know one of the things that I remember specifically Robin telling us on the very first day of Miss America and Miss America's Teen Week was have fun and live in the moment. And to really soak everything in, like getting to do all of the fun events, like you mentioned, Dave and Buster's, Universal, the Luau, really getting to soak in all of those wonderful moments was really, really special. And like you said, best week of my life, best
Yes.
of my life because I had so much fun getting to do what I love and so much fun just being there and experiencing this once in a lifetime like legacy event. It was so, so incredible. But that does bring us to the end of this chat that we've been able to have. And I want to thank you so, so much for being
Thank
so
you.
flexible and working with me and your team working with me to finally get this interview to happen. It's been so, so wonderful to get to chat with you about so many wonderful and fun things. And hopefully, I'll get to see you soon, whether that be for our fun little photo shoot with Giovanni or if that be Miss America and Miss America's Teen. I had the best time talking to you today, and thank you so much again.
Yes, absolutely. It was so nice to see your sweet face again and just be able to hear from you. So yes, love you, girl.
Love you. Thank you so much. Well, that was this episode of Titleholder Talks with Emily, all complete. I hope you enjoyed getting to hear all of Hanley's wonderful stories and experiences that she was able to share with us today as our Miss America's Teen 2024, because I know I definitely did. This podcast will be going live on Spotify and YouTube at Titleholder Talks with Emily, and we'll be sharing clips from this episode, previous episodes, and future episodes on my Instagram at Titleholder Talks with Emily. See you in the next one.